Hello, this is Dwayne Kessie, and I'm going to discuss my PowerPoint presentation on professional teaching standards. So we're going to compare the general teaching standards of INTAS and the Professional Association of NBEA, National Business Education Association. The first thing I started off with was a quote, "Teachers are reflective practitioners who evaluate themselves and continue to grow professionally." What made this mean something to me was teachers are always learning. It's an ever-evolving situation, and this quote really struck home for me. So we're going to reflect on the similarities and consistencies among the two professional association standards. All right. Okay, so the INTAS standards, first they start with the learner and learning, learner developing, knowing your learners, how they grow, how they develop, and integrating an appropriate environment. The differences between different learners, the cultures, the different home styles, that kind of stuff, and the educational environment where it supports the individual and collaborative learner with social interaction, active participation. So they're saying that you need to work together. It's not just a one-on-one type thing, and the learner is going to learn more from many different applications. Under the NBEA standards, self-awareness is your personal skills, your aptitudes, what are your talents, what are your values, your interests, how you relate to your peers, comparing your skills with career options, and determining the attitudes needed for success. So you're going to evaluate your personal strengths and weaknesses and try to expand on what you're good at and learn from the stuff that you're not so good at. So you'll see, comparing the two just in this instance, the standards from INTAS focus on the learner, whereas the NBEA focus on the educator and preparation for future career paths. So it's very similar, but it's definitely more focused with the NBEA. Then we get to content and knowledge. So the INTAS is your teaching standards of knowing your knowledge, know your central ideas. How do you find more information? Your tools of inquiry. What are you going to do? The structure of how you're going to teach the discipline that you're in. Then application of content. Teachers understand how to connect the concepts to encourage learning. So maybe you're working on a group project and you're going to do it with technology. So you're going to incorporate the two concepts and work them together. You're going to utilize different perspectives to engage learners. So maybe from the perspective of you're teaching them a new skill and they're picking up on it. Where with the NBEA, we're going to compare the career resources. So you're going to evaluate your occupational interests, the career clusters, analyze relocation issues, international career opportunities, identify international opportunities. You're looking for things that you can take your education and make your career more. Go outside of the career path or find a new career path. Find ways of expanding what your value is. And you'll see on the bottom I have the INTAS standards focus on the educator, while the NBEA standards focus on the future career path of the learner. So again, they're similar, but one is focusing more on the future and where we're going with what we're learning. The INTAS standards of instructional practice. So you have assessment. Teachers will use multiple methods of assessment: tests, projects, essays, papers. Planning for instruction. You're going to utilize all kinds of stuff to figure out what your lesson plans are, what you need to teach, where you're going with the subject. Utilize different perspectives to engage the learners. You could engage it from the standpoint of what are you gonna do when you get into your career? Um, how do you get into college? Where are you going to take it when you get to college? Different perspectives. You'll use a varying variety of strategies, whether it be written, read, write, and recite, um, utilizing the content knowledge to improve in understanding and apply the knowledge in meaningful ways. You're going to show that you understand it and move forward with it. The NBEA standards focus on workplace expectations. So you like your work ethics, your personal qualities that transfer from school to work, understanding how honesty, integrity affect work performance. Oh boy, that's a broad one, but you know, your personal ethics and how they affect what you're going to do in a work environment and where you're going to go with your career. Time management techniques, I think that applies to both. Um, you're going to have excellent time management skills to succeed both as a teacher and as a business teacher. How the workplace environment affects behavior, appropriate interpersonal skills, and professionalism in work relationships. So it teaches you how to work with each other. So it kind of helps along the lines of the collaboration issue so that you can work together with peers, teachers, clients, customers. So the NTASC standards focus on the translation of information to the learner, while the NBA standards focus on the future career preparation of the learner and the move into the workplace. And then still we're going into professional responsibility, ethical practice, the Professional Education Association, improve one's practice. It's still the same thing. You're working with ethics and what you want out of your career and how to keep your integrity and again how to socialize with the two different perspectives from the point of the teacher and the point of the learner, or the point of the instructor and the point of the prospective job market. Again, in task standards, professional responsibility, leadership and collaboration, you're going to seek appropriate leadership roles. So you're going to want to advance your career. You're going to want to be a department head. You're going to want to chair certain committees, something to just give more value. Collaboration in the field with learners, families, peers. You want to keep everybody in the same loop so that you can get a more encompassing education. Advancing learner growth and profession in general through collaboration. So you're working together to make everything better. And with the NBA standards, you're looking at workplace expectations through workplace diversity, equity issues, impact on the workplace, working effectively with various ages, cultures, mental and physical abilities, working on your communication skills, your interpersonal skills. On Lord, you could do a whole course on just giving and receiving constructive criticism, but continued skill improvement. Use feedback from your peers, improve your skills, collaboration with coworkers, management, and customers. So you see that both of these standard groups really do have a hand-in-hand basis on collaboration and working together. Continuing education. Through NTASC, teachers engage ongoing education opportunities and take meaningful professional education learning experiences. Again, meaningful. Collaborate with your colleagues. Further your education in one's area. Learn new technologies. The emerging technologies market is changing everything so fast that you're constantly learning. So your continuing education is very vital. With NBEA standards, you're doing your self-assessment, your education and occupational choices. What are your long-term, short-term goals? How do you get there? What do you need? What kind of background? What kind of education do you need? Who do you need to work with? School to career transition. So how do you get from having this piece of paper to developing a career and a mindset to succeed? And then NBEA also focuses on lifelong learning. That's one of their big ones. So it's the continuing education. It's constantly working on emerging growth opportunities. So you see, both common themes. The common themes of the two are continuing education and collaboration. Teachers engage in ongoing learning, lifelong learning with personal growth, professional education to improve one's practice of teaching, lifelong learning, emerging tech, learning new skills, the collaboration issue with your learning environment, your workplace expectations, collaborating with coworkers and management. You're always going to be working with someone. So these go hand in hand with trying to develop that and further it. Let's see here. Okay. You combine these two into one purpose. Collaboration and continuing education are extremely valuable for the learners. I kind of went over that. In a recent study, it was found that rigorous local programs content are emerging from small group discussions and one-on-one experiences from teachers in a program collaborating with a facility at a university. It's through these unique and continuing professional education experience that teachers build a network that keeps them abreast of changes in the industry and provides an avenue for lifelong learning. So it really ties everything together, just like we're saying. You're working on collaboration, continuing education, and making the career either the teaching from the teaching aspect or from the business aspect. You're making everything better by using collaboration and continuing education. Professional collaboration and data-driven instruction decision making. Collaboration is essential in business as well as education. I can't stress that enough. You got to be able to work together. It brings together many ideas and concepts that enhance both business models and education models. Absolutely. You're making your classroom better by collaborating with other instructors. You're making your business model better by collaborating with your customers, your salesmen, your management. It just works. Collaborating within the business world gives the educator insight into the needs of the workplace. Absolutely. That's critical. Continuing education and advancing education. Past teachers, school systems have collected and used data in one way or another, whether in the form of a grade book or a task, track progress and calculate final grades. So you're working to advance yourself and advance the profession. And the constant changes in technology make it critical for both educators and business learners to keep constant update and have that lifelong education plan to keep current and keep relevant. Career development plans for both education and business are dependent on further education and professional advancement. How are teachers expected to assume responsibilities of the improving practice? Again, it goes back to continuing education and collaboration. You could see the points that I've brought back up again. The new technologies. It's going to take constant growth and work. In conclusion, both standards are great guidelines for roadmaps to increasing professionalism. Collaboration and continuing education are critical parts of keeping the education system current, relevant, and expanding. I want to end with a quote. Henry Ford said, "Anyone who stops learning is old, whether it be 20 or at 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young." So let's all stay young. And my references are here. Please feel free to review them. Thank you very much.